What's up, guys, and check it out, it's Ajak, the Walmart exclusive that I didn't even have to go to Walmart for. And first off, yes, I know I said I was going to do VIDOES next, but then I found Ajak. If I'd known I was going to find Ajak, I would be like, I'm doing Ajak next, and then VIDOES. But anyways, now I ended up getting her now before Walmart even has her up for pre-order or order, because a buddy of mine gave me a heads up that she was available at, of all places, the World of Disney store in downtown Disney in Anaheim, California, aka Disneyland. They had the Walmart exclusive Ajak, the Target exclusive Athena, and all the other Marvel Legends Eternals there. Now for me it was an hour-and-a-half drive, and at first I was like, do I really want to do that drive, or do I want to wait for Walmart? Then I remembered it's Walmart, the king of botching exclusives, so yeah, I made the drive. But anywho, if you watch the Athena video, then you'll also know that I have Druid, but now I also have Sprite, which means I have the entire Eternals Gilgamesh Bathwave, so there is nobody else to find, so there's nobody else to bump, so VIDOES will be next, officially, finally, for sure. And then after VIDOES will be the voting poll for Gold, Black and Gold Suit Spider-Man, Druid, or Sprite. And of course Gilgamesh will be his own review once I open all of them. And with that said, don't forget to check these other guys' reviews if you haven't already with this little drop down right here. And let's go and take a closer look at Ajak. Starting with the box, here is a closer look at the front, and then here's the sides with the awesome picture art right there, which I really like. They did such a great job with the artwork here, and I love the colors as well. Of course, here's the wording if you want to read that right there. Then no other figures because she is an exclusive, and of course there's the barcode, the Disney Store barcode. Well, she's at Disneyland. $24.99, so not too bad. And there she is, guys, out of the package. Ajak, played by Salma Hayek. And I'm really loving this suit because it's blue and gold, just like Icarus. You guys know when I did the Icarus review, I love the blue and gold color just in general, and she is blue and gold, so definitely like this look. So let's go and take a closer look at this not so Walmart exclusive figure. Starting with the face, I say the likeness to Salma Hayek isn't too bad. It's not really spot on, but for the most part it does look pretty good. I think just like the other figures, it's all about the eye paint, and it's just something that they can't really get right for these figures, but the sculpting does look right. Here's her alternate head with no helmet, and I can't decide whether it looks a little bit better or a little bit worse, but I don't know. What do you guys think? But moving beyond the face, the helmet that she has is just so gorgeous looking. Look at that blue and the gold. It just, whew, look at that sheen. I love the way it looks, especially this right here, how there's a little bit of blue, then gold, how it just runs in. The paint apps on this one, thankfully, are just perfect, or close enough to perfect, and it just looks great. As you can see, the helmet sits up here. It's glued on from the cheeks as well. The whole thing's glued on, so you can't remove it. And then there's soft portions right here. And then the hair is actually separate. As you can see, there's a separate piece. Don't want to lift it too high so it doesn't tear. It goes over that gold piece right there. And then of course you have the bottom hair, which is nice and soft as well. But whew, look at that helmet. It's gorgeous. And one thing I do want to point out is if you notice the little top pointy part here of her helmet, it's not perfectly centered between her brows and her nose. And I noticed that pretty much every single one of them. I think I went through, 18 of them, or some had like plastic flaring coming out of it. And yeah, it's just, if you find one that's slightly off, I mean, a lot of them are like that. And moving into the body, going close up here, you see the paint apps are nice and clean on the one that I got. You have to be careful about those, but most of them, they were actually pretty good. And if you'll notice, her neck is actually a separate piece glued into the top here. I noticed a lot of them had some, or some of them had some gaps. It didn't get glued in all the way down, so be careful about that as well. But aside from that, I am loving the look of this. Just look at the color. It's simple. The cloak looks gorgeous. Look at that sheen there. Really love this figure, and just the design is just, whew. Yeah, this is why Ajak bumped VIDOES, because man, just look at that outfit. Now another thing to note as well, if you'll notice the gold stripe down here, a lot of them, like, they'll just, I guess they hand painted it or something, and they'll be a little bit off. As you can see, mine has a little streak right there, and then it gets a little bit sloppy on the sides here. The vast majority of them, you're going to find that they're not perfectly going down. Like I said, I look at 18 of them. If you find one that's really perfect, you always end up finding something else wrong, which is unfortunate. And then you'll notice you can see some blue coming through on some pieces. Absolutely zero of them had a solid gold paint job where there was no blue showing through, so that is absolutely normal in case you're wondering. And then of course, going into the back here, she has kind of a little cape going on there. As you can see, it looks like it's very thin and fragile to bend up, which it probably is. But if you look closely, you can see, move the hair out of the way there, you can see where the peg aligns right there. You see how it's right there? So the thickness of it is about from up here to down here. So it's a fairly thick peg. Then if you look down in there, there's actually a pretty good amount of glue. You can see it right in there. So it looks like it's glued on really nicely with a pretty thick peg. So it should be fine and it shouldn't tear, but I wouldn't lift it up quite too much. And if you're wondering, the inside of the cape is just like the outside except the inside. And she does have some little designs going on right there. No paint though. And taking a closer look at the arm here, you got some nice blue up here for the shoulder. Looks like a little bit of shoulder armor. Loving how clean this thin strip is going around there. It's not like a fuzzy line or anything. It's just crisp and clean, which I really like. And then the rest is kind of a marbly gold plastic there. You do have some sculpt work in there that does get lost with the reflection of the marbling, as you can see, but honestly it kind of works on this figure, which is pretty good. And then of course you have the little blue paint applications on her forearms there, and that is it for the paint. Overall, she has very minimal paint applications, but just, oh, the color combo that they chose for her just looks fantastic. I just seriously can't get over, just look at how shiny that blue is. I love it. Whew. Oh, and something interesting about her forearm here, if you can look closely, hopefully the marbling and shine doesn't get in the way too much. But anyways, right here, you'll notice it says R1 on it, and then on the other side, it says R2. And it's just so obvious, and it's on the outside, that it makes you wonder that was she supposed to be the Build-A-Figure at first, and then they just, you know, maybe decided to make Gilgamesh the Build-A-Figure. Although I don't know why they would have put it on the forearms, but either way, it's kind of sloppy having that there, and it's not really hidden when you have it like this. So I don't know why that's like that, but oh well. And moving into the legs, these little cloak pieces here are nice and soft. We'll have to move them out of the way so you can actually see the legs there, which overall is just more that really shiny blue. Got some little detailings, as you can see there. Some line sculpt, some Lego jumbo, unfortunately, but overall, aside from that, it's just some very fine detailed sculpting, and nothing in the back really. It's just all blue with some lines, but it's just such a really nice blue. Let's get closer there. There you go. You can see some of the line details. You know, it's the blue that really makes this figure. And then of course the bottom of the feet, which is just more blue, of course. And as for articulation, the head rotates in a circle and the hair actually clears the body nicely all the way around, which is pretty cool. Got some good side to side right there, like really good side to side. She can look decently up, but her hair obviously blocks it. And then she can look pretty decent way down. And the arm rotates in the usual circle and has some click positions to it. And her shoulder goes up decently high, and then she has the single jointed but kind of pinless elbow that spins in a circle, and her hands of course spin and does the flapper. And her torso spins in the usual circle along with her outer cape there and has some clicks to it. Goes that much that way, that much that way. Pretty decent way back, except you got a big old hole gap there when you do, and not very much forward actually. And her leg actually goes pretty decent forward thanks to the slit there. It's pretty much all the way forward. Although don't expect the same for the back because the cape gets in the way. Or the cloak, cape, whichever. As for the splits, there's kind of two versions to it. There's the one where it's kind of stuck in the cloak there and it goes about that far. Or you can bring the legs forward outside of the cloak and then it goes quite a bit further. So either or. And then you have the usual thigh swivel and the pinless double jointed knee, which gets hindered by the cloak a bit. So yeah, anyways, and then her ankle goes that far back, that far forward, and spins. And for accessories, she comes with two open hands here. And then she also comes with her alternate helmetless head that you saw earlier, which is essentially the same as the helmeted head, except without the helmet, as you can see there. Although the hair is different clearly because they have this little top portion here, and then this one's just all flat, so yeah. And to change it, you just pop off the helmeted head there, and then you see the dog bone joint there that all the other Eternals figures have, and then you pop on the helmetless head, and come on. Okay, there we go. That joint moved around too much. Anyways, as you can see, that's what she looks like without the helmet, and you know, she looks not too bad. I definitely prefer the helmet look a lot better, but as you can see, the dog bone joint really shifts a lot, and it can make her neck look very kind of elongated, or you can kind of shift it forward and it looks a little bit better, but then she's like so forward, so I don't know, the joint doesn't seem to work out quite as well for her figure. It works better for the other ones, but for her it's just... And for some comparisons, here she is next to her fellow Eternals that I've opened and reviewed so far. Still got 3 more to go, plus the 4th Gilgamesh Bath. Here she is next to a few more Marvel Legends, as well as the Sony movie Venom, which I saw the second one. It was okay. Action was great though, but that end credit scene was like, what? And finally, here she is next to the Jazzwares Spartan Collection, Master Chief, McFarlane, DC Multiverse Superman, Hasbro Snake Eyes movie Henry Golding, and a banana. Well guys, overall I was really looking forward to this figure because the color combo and the sleekness of her cloak and her overall suit just looked really good in the promo shots. And in person, she did not disappoint. And I'm so glad I didn't have to try to deal with getting her from Walmart. But anywho, VIDOES will officially for sure be next because there is no other Eternals that can bump him. And then after him, I will let you vote on Druig, Sprite, and the Spider Anomaly on who comes after him. And with that said, don't forget to subscribe so you get first dibs on when the videos come out. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next review. Peace.